Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the Canson XL watercolor paper versus the Canson Heritage watercolor paper. And the main thing I wanted to talk about with these papers is, of course, the quality and the differences, and also things like your pocketbook, because a lot of what you're going to be doing, especially if you're just getting started out into art, into watercolor, and you're not sure if you want to really invest the money into a much higher quality paper and paints. I started with the Canson XL when I first got into watercolors, and I typically like to go with a much larger size, the 18 by 24 size. And some of my most favorite pieces that I've ever worked on and created, I painted on the Canson XL, and those are pieces that I have sent all over the world. So you can do incredible art on this Canson XL watercolor paper, but it just kind of depends on the style, and it kind of depends on, I will also say, maybe the detail that you want to do. If it tends to be something with more realism, you might, with a Canson XL paper, it might take longer and you might not get the same look that you would much easier on a much higher quality paper like this Canson Heritage. But there are some, it's a great bang for your buck. It's, I was able to get this 11 by 15 at Hobby Lobby for $16. And of course, if you get a coupon, then you can get it for even cheaper than that. So it's a great bargain. Whereas the Canson Heritage does cost more, and you only get 12 sheets, but on the Canson XL, you get 30 sheets. So it really just kind of depends on what you're wanting to do. I do more pop surrealism, running and dripping colors. So I've had a lot of great luck using the Canson XL, but I'm also able to do the exact same thing on a much higher quality paper. And because I've started actually, as my budget got larger and I started selling more and I started learning more, I knew then especially that I kind of fell in love with the watercolor, that this was something I was going to do all the time, that I really wanted to invest in better supplies, including a better paper. And even if you are using watercolors that might not be the most professional watercolors, I will say that they will come out looking better on a better looking paper, or on a much higher quality paper like the Canson Heritage versus the Canson XL. And I had done just like a little test to just kind of show, I was just doing kind of like a color strip, and it's pretty vibrant, the colors, and I didn't go over this very much. I just did like one run of color here and then added some color over here, and then did some dripping effects. And it's pretty vibrant. And versus, let's see, here is the Canson Heritage version, and the main differences that you're gonna find is that I did the same thing on this side, but I was able to, you're able to smooth out the edges on a much better quality paper, and the colors tend to be maybe just a little more vibrant, and you really don't need to use as much color to get this type of depth of quality and vibrancy on this type of paper. And the colors tend to like blend together much better, and you need less layers on a much higher quality paper versus this Canson XL, which you can add more and more layers, but you'll never get the smoothness that you will on this Canson paper. So another thing I really wanted to kind of bring up and talk about is that the most important resource that an artist has available to them is themselves. It's his or her imagination and determination and creativity. Yes, it makes a huge difference. And if anybody has, you know, moved from a higher quality paint to a higher quality paper to higher quality brushes, I mean, you immediately know that the difference that can make for you. But it really, in the end, boils down to your resourcefulness as an artist and your creativity. I mean, because if you're resourceful, you can take any material with any paints, and you can create incredible art, you know, that just captures the imagination by basically painting on a paper bag or newspaper or anything. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind, is that you don't always need the best tools to work with. The only thing that you really need is you, and some, you know, some art supplies. But that is pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll be creating more videos. So I will talk to you guys soon.